Hey everybody, this is Royce here with Gates 3 Designs, and I am back with another episode. Um, are you approaching commencement? It's graduation creeping up on you. We're in the month of May, and there are going to be a lot of students graduating. Um, whether it's with an associate's degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, or PhD. Um, One thing that happens a lot with a lot of graduates is that you're going to be graduating in 2 weeks. You graduated with good grades, and you worked hard and you finished strong, but you have not found that job. You've had maybe a couple interviews and no callbacks, and you're stressed and you're wondering, well, what am I going to do? I went to school to get a job, a good job, and the interviews I went on, they aren't calling me back. Or maybe you're not getting any interviews, and it can be for a number of reasons. People can say, they can blame it on, well, your resume is not up to par. It's a little off here. Let's tweak it a little bit here and there. And sometimes it's not that. Honestly, what employers are really, really looking for is experience. They want to know if you can do the work. For sure. They don't want to waste time and money, so they want to know if you can do the work for sure. And when I was in school, I realized that a lot of people actually didn't have experience. I remember actually when I got my associate's degree and I was graduating from community college, I had one job, and it was an engineering job. It was for an engineering company, and I was testing concrete. And it kind of relates to, not necessarily relates to architecture, but it's within that field. But it's not necessarily what I went to school for. I went to school to be an architectural designer, an architectural drafter. And prior to graduating with an associate's, I applied to many jobs and I wouldn't get any callbacks at all. And I would even go to resume workshops and touch up my resume. And I was thinking that this engineering or this concrete testing position is going to help me get a job. But yeah, it was a job. It was an internship I had, and it was a paid internship, but it wasn't exactly drafting. So what I did was the thing to do for people who are graduating and they don't have any jobs lined up, they're not getting any callbacks. The thing to do is set a goal. Now, I know you're frustrated. I know you're like, I just want a job now. Why can't I get a job? It's very frustrating. It can drive you crazy. And sometimes it forces people just to go back to school and just get into more debt. And this is what I did. When I graduated with my 2-year degree, I didn't have a job lined up. So I continued to work. I worked part-time for the concrete place because they didn't need any full-time workers anymore. And that only lasted for a little while. And I worked full-time at a grocery store. And I worked at this grocery store since high school. So I told myself this. I said, I'm going to give myself 1 year. I'm going to keep applying to positions in, architecture as an architectural drafter. If I do not find a job in 1 year, I'm going to apply for the assistant manager position at this grocery store. Only because I knew it paid a little more. than the minimum wage I was getting. It was going to give me a little more money, and I was cool with that because I didn't have any college debt when I went to community college, but it still wasn't the type of money I wanted. But I just figured, hey, I'll stay home, I'll work hard, I'll work extra hours, I'll work 2 jobs if I have to, and I'm just going to save. But I gave myself a year, and you have to do things like that. Like, you have to set goals. Like, okay, if I don't, because I could have went this route. I'm going to give myself a year. If I don't find a job, I'm going to go back to school. You can do that. There's like, you have to set a goal, and don't like beat yourself up saying I need a job now, which you do, and I know you do. But the good thing is, if you do have loans, if you don't have a job, you don't have to pay your loans yet, even though they give you 6 to 9 months until you have to pay your loans. But if you don't have a job, you can defer your loans. That's a good thing. But it's very frustrating to graduate and work so freaking hard. So hard. Like, you put so much work into this, and you don't have a job lined up. And what I hate about universities and schools, colleges nowadays, is that they don't stress the fact that you should work, get experience. And I know it's hard to work a summer internship, and some companies probably don't want to pay. I looked up when I was at a university getting a bachelor's that I found internships that paid. A lot of people find internships that don't pay at all. But honestly, it may be worth it if you have to go that route. Because you don't want to be the person graduating and without a job lined up. It really hurts. You're just thinking about all the money that was spent, all the time and energy you put in. And time is so valuable. A lot of people don't realize that. These colleges don't realize that. These kids put in so much time. You would think the colleges will find out a way to have a job lined up for every single student that finishes, that graduates. You would think they would care that much, but sadly they don't really. They really don't. It hurts. But that's what I did. I set a goal and said, hey, okay, I don't have college debt. If I don't find a job, I'm gonna work as a manager here and see if I can just work my way up the ladder. Because the whole reason for me wanting to go to school for architecture was to design, to take the homes in my community, flip them, revitalize them, make them better, and own homes and stuff like that. So I just really wanted to build up some income, some money to be able to do that. But everybody is different. Some people go to school for architecture because they want to be the next Zaha Hadid. They want to be the next Frank Lloyd Wright. They love what Frank Gehry does. It's some people want to be architects. They want to be licensed architects, and they want to design the best buildings. And that is not a bad career path. That's not bad. That's a great dream to have. And if that's your dream, you deserve it. And I know if you went to school for architecture, you worked hard. You put the work in. You deserve it. But don't let this moment get you down. If you don't have a job lined up right now, it maybe it's just not meant to have a job right now. Maybe, think through it. Like, if you have to go back to school right now, go back to school. You may want to just take a break. And if you really, honestly, I feel like in architecture, if you feel like you want to take a break, take a break. And I know it sucks if you want to take the break, but you want to be able to work in a firm. Hey, if you can't get that position in a firm, then that's just what it is. You just have to maybe get another job, a different type of job, just to hold you over until you go back to college, go back to school for your master's in architecture, or even your bachelor's in architecture, wherever you are. Things don't always work out the way we want them to. They don't always work out the way we want them to. But if you stay focused and keep a positive mind, it will all fall in place. It'll all fall in place. Thanks for listening. I hope you subscribe, comment, tell me what you think. Are you in this situation? Because I remember being in that situation after community college and being like hurt and feeling down. And it took a little while for me to get focused again and say, you know what, just keep trying and keep looking. And eventually it all worked out for me. So leave a comment, let me know. Thanks.